Ladies and gentlemen, it's that late night stream, late night vibes. You know what? We have to talk about it. There's no way we're gonna let the game go on and not talk about it and say, if you're a new subscriber to this channel, we always just take a second after every Man United performance and just put a little performance grade and a performance remark, look at the game a little bit. Um, and a little quick analysis of it, and also the manager as well. So make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. Let's talk about FC Copenhagen versus Man United in the Champions League, and how Man United crumbled and fumbled and couldn't even sustain a 2-0 lead. We just could not make it. We even got the lead with one player down, and we just could not protect that lead. Let's talk about all that and some of what happened in the player performances, especially because that's really what we care about. That's what this show is about. So big up to you for joining in. My name is Botswanapapi. Hit the like button, as I said. Subscribe if you haven't. Bruno First things first, Man United's Champions League hopes got an uppercut. Man United Champions League dreams might remain a dream because of this result right here. FC Copenhagen beat Man United 4-3. And the scoreline, as usual, with Man United doesn't tell the whole story because, Manchester United played a majority of the game with one man down. And guess what? For once, they were the better team. For once, they showed some fight. For once, they were showing a little bit of unison in some way, mentality-wise, but they just could not have enough grit and enough togetherness to carry it over the line, especially given the fact that they got the goal after a red card. The red card is subjective. The red card is the red card. It happened. But, the main thing about it is you have to talk about the fact that the team does not know how to protect a lead. So, when you look at the sequence of events, right? Bruno Fernandes scored a penalty on the 69th minute. And from minute 69 till 90, you mean you cannot protect a lead? So here's the thing. I have some desires about what I would like a manager to do, I like a manager who is tactically flexible and able enough to know that, what? Hold on a second. This is a moment to protect the lead. That's called, I think Eddie talked about this when we had a little bit of a, discussion right after the game. Eddie talked about this and said, sometimes emotional IQ is important for a manager. And this is a game where, when you receive a red card, sometimes tactics go out the window. It becomes a very psychological game. It becomes about how you emotionally react to the game, how you're mentally staying in the game. And with, with the way we performed, honestly, I have to say questions have to be asked because we just did not mentally stay in the game enough to protect the. We're 69th minute, 70 minutes. All we had to do was park the bus. All we had to do was be a little bit more defensive in our mentality. And then we could just get those 3 points over the line. But we didn't. That makes me wonder, So everybody, like, as I like to reference my friend Eddie, from Eddie's Footy Waffle, he said, emotional IQ. I like my ideal manager to have technical flexibility. Sometimes there's a moment when you say it's time to park the bus. It's time to retreat, soldier. Sometimes there's a moment when you have to read the emotional, psychological well-being of the moment and say, this is what we need to get over the line. And Ten Hag and this one, I have questions, because I just want somebody who's able to just be a step ahead of the other manager. You actually did it. Ten Hag was over the line. We got the goal. We played with 10 men, and for once, we were not necessarily panicking. We were a little bit composed, a little bit measured, a little bit, systematic with our attacking, but we got the goal. That's the Rashford, red card or not, we got the goal to say, you know what, offensively we are superior than y'all, but defensively we were inferior. That's the point I'm trying to drive home. Eriktenhag, I need some technical answers. That's where I'm at. Shout out to Shay, by the way, saying big up. Can I join Shay? Big up to you. Of course, we came in late. We had some technical difficulties earlier on. Chelsea Den says, drinking the tears. I feel for your power hour. Big up to Chelsea Den, by the way, for the trolling. Chelsea Den, I just want to give some context, by the way. If you were part of the watch along and saw the trolling that Chelsea Den did, I have to make sure that you understand that Chelsea Den is a homie to me. In Chelsea Den, I've trolled and bantered him a million trillion times, so I deserved his an opportunity for him to just shine, because you know what, I've really drank the Chelsea tears. I've been full. I've been hydrated. I've been hydrating with Chelsea tears. So Chelsea Den had that opportunity. But that's what I'll say about him. And big up to you, Chelsea Den. But when we're having Man United conversations, I like him to be there as a neutral voice and not a banter voice, if you get what I'm saying. Big up to Munch in the building, saying big up Bods. Hello. If I speak on this manager, says Omo. Okay.
Oh my God.
If you speak Omo, what will happen if you speak? Omo says, I will get sent to jail. You will not get sent to jail, Omo. I promise. He says, Omo says, worse than Jose, Eriktenhag is a rookie. Omo seems to have made up his mind. But you know what, Omo, I'm curious how you've made up your mind, because I really, really want to get deep into this conversation about Copenhagen versus Man United in the Champions League, because I want the conversation, obviously, to be about the manager, because we will also rate the manager. But as we always do, we have to rate the players first. So here we go. Let us open up the grades. We do grades over here. We don't do 1 to 10. We also do performance remarks over here. So real quick, Onana conceded. My African brother conceded 4 goals. What grade is Onana? Onana, you cannot get an A after conceding 4 goals, nor a B after conceding 4 goals. Not that any or most of those goals were your fault, but it just has to be a C plus by default, unless somebody else differs. I'd like to know why. Hey, almost says, I'm ready. Oh, let's clap hands for you. I want to know what grade you'd give Andre Onana. Let's go to Dalo. Well, here's the thing. Onana doesn't save low shots. It says, almost says Onana has a low shot glitch, fam. Fix that. By the way, if you do not know how these things happen, we do these performance remarks, by the way, as if you ever have that moment where you it's the parents and the teachers are meeting and you're part of the conversation. I was always on time for those because anyway, I've been fortunate enough to be part of like an African education system and how you know pretty much just like what's the word, it does its merits, it has its merits and demerits, and then I've been part of an American education system which also has its merits and demerits, and then in a European system when I studied in Paris or whatever. But like the main thing is like different parts of the world look at this process differently. So I'm doing this grading system based on like my experiences, and in Botswana, it was very different. You'd have sometimes the teacher pretty much just like post everybody's grade, right there for the class to see. And then I'll be like, what did Omo get? Omo got a D. Oh, what did Manch get? Manch got a C minus. And then, what did botswanapapi get? B minus, whatever. You know what I mean? It was like that. But anyway, here's the thing. Low shot glitch, fix that, Onana. Really, I didn't see anything improved in the distribution. Let's move on from Onana. That's what I'll say about him. Let's go to you is unclassified, says Manch. Oh Lord.
But what the hell, boy?
Unclassified. Let's do A to F. All right. Dallo gets an F by almost standards, and I cannot rebuttal that, Omo. An F is Dallo, you can almost fault him for 2 moments where he fell asleep. And it's a bigger question is like, is Dallo the player to move forward with? Is Dallo the fullback that we can rely on moving forward? And the question is a very serious question, and for me, I like to really trust Jose Mourinho's assessment of things, because Jose has had a very blunt sort of like, it was a very, very candid assessment of like Diogo Dallo, saying he has the minerals. He could be our Gary Neville if we just give him the conditions to develop. So when we saw what Diogo Dallo did prior to Qatar World Cup, so he's got it in him, but we have to say this is the FC Copenhagen versus Man United match review, and Diogo Dallo, unfortunately, I cannot dispute almost F. I could try and give you an F plus, but I feel that's being ridiculous. Manch says an F as well. Oh Lord, everybody got an F. Maguire gets in C, says Omo. Let's go straight to Maguire, because Omo put in the Maguire grade in there. Harry Maguire. Harry Economic Maguire. The thing about Maguire is I read out a quote early on in the earlier stream about what eriktenhag had to say about the pairing of Maguire and Varane. Pardon me. eriktenhag had some really, really, really important words to say after the mancity loss, where he specifically mentioned his tactical assessment of what the positioning of having Maguire as your left center back and having Varane as your right center back. He said it. You know what? Just so that you understand what I'm saying, here we go. I will share this with you. I will share. This is the words of Erik ten Hag when he was asked about Maguire, and leaving Varane on the bench and playing Johnny Evans and Maguire together. You see what I'm saying? He said, when you face a pressing team, right, you got then to play Rafa and Maguire over the left, that can be giving you problems and you end up kicking long balls. And for me, on the right, Harry, especially against teams who press high, is better. That is what Ten Hag said. And guess what? The moment when we threw away the game, The moment when we really lost the game was when Maguire was on the left center back position and Varane was on right center back position, and we were pressed high by Copenhagen, and that's how we got to that unfortunate, tragic disaster. Here we go. Harry Maguire also responsible for the handball. Responsible for the pen. What else can we also pin on Maguire's performance? Like the penalty was it was a moment, yes, but it cannot be the only thing. Like I feel like there was good moments as well. We gotta try and like, you know, look at his overall performance. And I think he was calm. I think he was calm. He had obviously, other than that penalty moment, I just want to give him his due diligence and say he was calm on the ball, but you know, it was that decisive moment. I want to just honor the calmness and say, Harry Maguire, keep it coming, keep calming, if you get what I'm saying. Keeping it calm, other than the howler moment. And it was just a moment, you know. Harry Maguire, would C be the grade? Let's see what Munch said. Munch declined to grade Maguire. I think Maguire gets a U, unclassified from Munch. And I think for me, I'll give him a C minus. And Omo, I think a C is actually justified for Maguire. So Johnny Evans. Let's talk about Johnny Evans real quick. Unfortunate for him to go off with an injury. So unclassified, ungraded injury, real quick. Unfortunate injury. And yeah, we can't really judge him. Injured too soon, you know. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, ladies and gentlemen, that first goal that we scored. Let's not forget how instrumental Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Rashford were in that moment. You know what's crazy, guys? What I noticed when I watched that game back. Copenhagen had specific instructions to press when Dalot has the ball. And if you notice, it's not by coincidence, because Dalot has been the most uncomfortable defender that we've had when we're in our build-up phases. When we are in possession of the ball, trying to progress it into the opposition's final third, we are so prone to losing possession whenever it goes to Dalot. We've seen it before when we're pressed high by Mancity, when we're pressed high, even when we're pressed high by Fulham, he'd be the one who'd boot it forward. You're like, this is the guy who's really uncomfortable. So Copenhagen fell for that trap, because this time around, in the very first 5 minutes when we got that goal, you know, Dalot beat the trap and then progressed the ball forward and eventually reached Bruno, who booted it. It was a very, very, very high lob ball, and that reached Marcus Rashford on the right, who had an amazing first touch. We have to say, Marcus, when you come back, I think your place is on the right, fam, moving forward. But anyway, Dalot, Bruno Fernandes passed it on to Rashford. Rashford passed it to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka eventually found, or was it Yeah, it was Wan-Bissaka who found McTominay. There we go. It was Wan-Bissaka who found Maxos, and Maxos found Haaland, and Haaland tapped it in. And all that move was orchestrated really by Wan-Bissaka and Rashford, right? So we got to remember that. Remember his influence and how he also, his overlapping didn't happen on that first goal, you know, and there was some very, very important key defensive interventions. So for me, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I will differ with you. Omo gave him an F. Omo gave him an F. F, Omo? Why? Wan-Bissaka gets an F? No, somebody else in the chat gotta have a different assessment of Wan-Bissaka. I do, because then if you give him an F and I give him a C, that makes him average to a D minus. You know what I mean? No. Nah. Somebody else, please comment about Aaron Wan-Bissaka if anybody was. Yeah. All right. C minus. Thank you, Munch. Thank you. Big up to Munch for bringing balance to that Wan-Bissaka conversation. And I think, okay, I think a C minus is justified. He definitely did, like, you know, when you're looking at his performance holistically, it was a little less than Maguire's, in my opinion, even though that first, you know, C says Drex. All right. It's settling. It's about to be a C. Big up to Devils United in the building. Shout out to you, Maze. Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets a C. Oh, man, that C minus is definitely going to change to a C now. The house says C. Boom. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, key defensive tackles, and then that first goal contribution as well. We cannot forget that. Keep it going. I want to see more chemistry between Wan-Bissaka and that boy, Marcus Rashford. All right, let's move on to Eriksen. Christian Eriksen. Now, Christian Eriksen. He's an interesting one because for me, you know, he saw enough of the ball in the first half, right? But you just didn't see the effective passing. You know he's capable of, you know, and it was a little bit below par, and especially the moment after we got the red card, you know, we needed Eriksen to even be more imposing. And honestly, I did not see that, and I cannot give you a grade better than Wan-Bissaka nor Maguire. So Eriksen is gonna Munch says F. Oh no. What did Omo say about Eriksen? Eriksen gets an F as well. Damn. 2 people gave an F, and I'm gonna give you a D. Devils United. Do you have Eriksen D? Thank you, Drex. D for Drex. I see what you did there, Drex. Eriksen also get F. Eriksen, oh Lord, Erik, E plus. E plus is a bit mocking, you know. E plus is a bit mocking, but I see what you did there. It's like, you know, it's not completely your fault. D, your E plus, and it's gonna end up being a D minus. Oh Lord, that was United. You're too funny. Right. It's mocking, but you know it is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
All right, let's go to he just didn't impact the game. Did not impact the game enough. All right, with the passing and also defensive work rate as well, but whatever, we'll leave that. Let's talk about our captain. So our captain, personally, he didn't suit the team. That's what Devils United said. Yeah, that game, it did not suit Eriksen, and I feel like we said this in the last review stream that Eriksen should just be an impact sub. That's his role. What about Bruno? Let's go to Bruno Fernandes real quick. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno gets a C from Munch. Bruno gets an Bruno and Haaland get an A.
Jesus!
Oh, why does Bruno get an A? Well, he scored the penalty cold. We needed him. He was really needing to step up like a captain, like a leader, and he did. He deserves that. Yes, that's an A minus. But then, was there enough good Hollywood Bruno passes though? I don't think there was enough. Other than that moment, I don't think there was enough. That's why for me, I'm thinking B-ish. He's a B-ish performance for me, you know. Let's see what Man said about Bruno. Um, Bruno B minus says Drex. Almost says B for Bruno. Okay, B for Bruno sounds like alliteration. So B. let's give him a B. B minus sounds disrespectful for a guy who showed up when we were. You know that penalty was actually extra pressure, and he did not do this hop, skip, and a jump because that he would do if we had all the players available. But when your team needs you, a penalty that we can almost say was a gift from the heavens because, you know, whatever. The laws nowadays are so vague and obscure and everything. But for me, Maguire headed the ball into that man's hand. Like if, oh man, let me, should I even, let me see if I can bring it up. For me, Maguire headed that man, like headed that ball into that man's hand. This is the picture that I'm looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Like he did not have enough time to respond. Like, look at this. Let me share this. Look at this picture. You see this? And then they're waiting for the ball, right? Harry Maguire. Matter of fact, on this still image, I want to also highlight that Harry Maguire has his left hand over the guy's ribs. I know we've already graded G Maguire, but that right there, that looking like some Rasmus Haaland, you know, offense that he did versus Man City. So Man United players, you gotta learn. All right. That's besides the point. Let's move on to what we're actually trying to highlight about this moment. So the ball reaches, it's a long free kick. The ball reaches Harry Maguire. Boom. This is the moment right here. Harry Maguire has the ball. Now, this guy, number 12 for Copenhagen, he does not know anything. Laguerre, that I believe is his name, Lucas Laguerre. He does not know anything about that ball. He's trying to contest for that ball. And Harry Maguire just heads it. And he has so little time to respond, right? He has so little time to respond. And then the ball just hits his hand. Fine. It's a little bit above, like it's a little bit like he's extended his arm. It's bigger than his natural silhouette. You know, look at this picture. Yes, Luan, we are live. Big up to Luan in the building. We're talking about Harry Maguire right now, hitting this ball into Lucas's arm. Lucas is trying to contest for that ball. He just missed the trajectory of it, you know? And then whatever, you know, we get the penalty. The main point that I'm trying to get at is we get the penalty from the heavens somehow. And then Bruno Fernandes has the minerals to stay calm and then just find that spot. So that's why Drex settles with a B minus. Omo went to the B, and I'm gonna go with a comprehensive B. I think it was a B for Bruno, and cool penalty. We needed that. And then Garnacho ended up shushing people. Garnacho!
Oh my God!
What was Garnacho doing shushing people, guys? Some people, you know, have strict, like, they have triggering the shush celebration is things that, you know, a player who has won the Ballon d'Or gotta do, you know, that has earned the right to do. Garnacho, right now you're working on Nostalgia FC shushing a crowd that you shouldn't be shushing. Let's be honest, you know. Let's be honest. He did play well, though. He did play well. The second goal that Haaland scores is because of a Garnacho shot. So The second goal is from a counter-attacking situation. I believe it might have been Bruno who sprayed that pass to Garnacho, and Garnacho shoots, and the goalkeeper parries the ball, and then Haaland is right there as part of the counter-attacking sequence and picks up the loose ball, tap in, right? Great goal. We're 2 goals up. We should stay up. Garnacho, since we're on talking about your performance right now, we're just going to give you a quick grade, Alejandro Garnacho, and say you deserve that left wing spot for the next game, in my opinion. And let's see if anybody else gave you a good grade. Alejandro Garnacho gets a B minus. B for be quiet. For man, you stupid. Nice. I like it. I like what you did there. C plus for me. Thought he played well, to be honest. Vibes is such a strict grader, you know. C plus, and then you say performance remark. Thought he played well. Imagine Vibes like the conversation with the teacher and Vibes' mom. Oh, father. And then there's like, Vibes is a very great student. He gets a C plus. Wouldn't you have questions? Come on now, Vibes. No. C plus and say you thought that was great. I have questions for you about that. But anyway, let's give him his grade and say Garnacho, for me, Devils United says C. I'm going to give you a B minus. Garnacho gets a B minus. Let's be honest. He deserves to start again in that position. Come on. Great contribution overall. In the class, Garnacho he participates. But can be more clinical, especially with the passing. He's had moments where he actually takes a shot when he should be looking for teammates, but he's still a young kid learning his trade on that left hand position, and I believe he deserves a run of games in there. All right, let's go to McTominay. Maxos gets C from Omo. Almost gives McTominay a C. This is the player, by the way, McTominay. Let's be honest about he's one of our liveliest players. Let's be, great. He had great movement to find Haaland. That's an assist for McTominay. Come on, a player who gets an assist gets a C. I beg to differ. Great assist, fam. What? A C? Unless you convince me otherwise about why it's a C. It just can't be a C with no comment. You have to justify that C. Manj also went with a C. He repeated himself with a C. He's like, I'm justified with a C. Yeah, Garnacho gets a B. Okay, McTominay B minus for 1 assist, says Vibes. Thank you for balancing the equation out, Vibes. Great assist. Let's bring up that grade, says Luan. Yes, B minus, at least B minus, and he deserves the next Luton Town. I believe Garnacho has to own that position and try again, eriktenhag. All right, let's move on to the next player. Let's go to, should we go to MBE? Let's go to Haaland first. Somebody put in a grade about Marcus Rashford. Let us check real quick. Rashford had a red card. Who should have been replaced? An attacker had a red card. Who should have? Oh, Drex is asking. That's a more Ten Hag question. We're going to give Ten Hag his grade. But since you're on that point, Drex, I have to just say, guys, today, Liverpool lost against Toulouse. Liverpool played Toulouse and they chose Toulouse. But what I want to really highlight, the fact that what I really want to highlight is there was a moment where a Liverpool player, I believe this is Endo. Look at this, Drex. Look at this. Tell me how different is that? Tell me how different is that from what we saw last game? And this player, Endo, gets a yellow card.
Oh my God!
Make that make sense. How come we get a red card and then Liverpool gets a yellow card for this? Come on now.
Make it make sense, blood.
All right, we're moving on. Let's move on to the grade that he's supposed to get. Let's look at the grade that he's supposed to get. All right, so Rashford, it was a red. Endo story. Endo got a yellow for that. Endo got a yellow for that. Not a red. It was very harsh. Yes, we agree. But also, it was also very, very. It was almost sort of like nearly career ending. All right. Haaland gets an A. Rashford gets an F from Omo. All right. And any other grade? Let me see. Let me see if anybody put in another grade about Marcus Rashford, since we are on Marcus MBE Rashford. For me, I wouldn't, I'm not eriktenhag, but I wouldn't have picked him, He's a little bit like, you can tell that moment. Yeah. He's trying to, shield the ball. I get that, but his mind and body were not fully connected. They're not fully connected. Something, his chi is not aligned right. The chakras are not aligned right with Marcus Rashford. And I think for me, I wouldn't give him an F because I think that's really, really, really harsh, Omo. He calmed that. If you see how he scored the first goal, that pass that Bruno gave him, it was a lob, it went off camera for about 3 seconds and then it came back into camera. Right, and Rashford had a calm, world-class touch. The way he that was a great contribution, and that's why I'm pleading for his case to continue on the right-hand side. So I won't get him. I will beg to differ with an F. I'll say for me, Marcus Rashford, with a red card, he gets a D minus, or let's give him a D. Let's give him a D. He pretty much. I don't want to say cost us the game because we scored, we got a goal ahead, and now it was on the manager to make sure that we stay in the game. And, shouldn't have gotten a red. And unfortunately, D minus is a little mocking, and I'm just going to give you a D. I never said I'll say that about another man. Vibes is in here. Yay! You're like, you say what? You gonna give Marcus Rashford the what? All right. So Haaland, Rasmus Haaland. Let's talk about Rasmus Haaland. Rashford didn't even see that guy, says Luan. I know. We missed him. He should have gotten a yellow, just the same way Endo got a yellow, I'm just asking what kind of brown envelopes is going on, I know, man. Yeah, but he didn't deserve a red. All right. His mind and body for shielding the ball. What's going Vibes, you silly. All right. We're trying to make this very concise, We're trying to talk about the Copenhagen. If you're just joining in, big up to you. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. We're doing a little bit of a quick review of the Copenhagen Man United game, just talking about it and the grades that the players deserve. And we're going to talk about Rasmus Haaland. You know, when you do your homework, when you're given a group assignment and you're that kid who knows what's going on, that is Rasmus Haaland for me. We had 2 or 3 shows ago, we had this picture and we said, explain this picture in football terms. This is Rasmus Haaland at Man United. Vibes. This picture represents Rasmus. You know, how can you tell me how you're the top goal scorer in the Champions League, but your team cannot even win a game in the Champions League? Make that make sense, blood. In KG's word.
Make it make sense, blood.
This picture explains Rasmus Haaland, the student who does the assignment to the T, but then somehow his group mates let him down. For me, Rasmus Haaland is the only one who understood the assignment. Everybody else did not understand the assignment. Rashford did not even know there was an assignment. Garnacho was asking, do we have an assignment? Della was asking, how do you spell assignment? You know what I mean? You know, Haaland gets a C- from Luen. No. Are you saying he's the golden garbage? No, I'm saying he's the gold amongst the garbage. Oh, Lord. So, okay. Yes, we will talk about this during happy hour, says Manj. We will, Vibes. We're going to address this tomorrow. You know, Vibes, we need you for the happy hour tomorrow. You gotta be there, brother. And I'll make sure you're there at 10 p.m. You know, and Manja's gonna be there too. And we'll continue and talk about the rest of the week. But let's give Haaland his grade and then Ten Hag his grade, and then we get out of here. So Haaland understood the assignment for me. He gets a solid B+, fam. The goals that come on, it's supposed to be an A-, you know. Let's be real. Rasmus Haaland with a brace. How can you score a Champions League brace and not tell me that's not even an A-? No, man. No. Stephanie, what grade? Big up to you for joining in, and I appreciate you for coming at the end of the stream. What grade are you giving Rasmus Haaland? Is it a B-, a B+, or an A-? Because he's really Omo, you gotta be there tomorrow as well for the happy hour. Make sure you're there, brother. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on Vibes and Munch. We are going to make sure that we talk about this week because we have to have a proper conversation. Haaland is an A. What are we doing here? Who are these people? Right? No. Stephanie, thank you. A-, right? He understood the assignment. Like, what else can he do? He almost got a hat trick, actually, when you think about it. He had around the 29th minute, he had a chance where if the power was just even a little bit more and the placement was even a little bit better, we could have had a Haaland hat trick. So A-, that is the grade for Rasmus Haaland. All right, let's go to the one and only Eriktenhag. Is he the danger, people? There's this picture that says, I'm not in danger, I'm the danger. But I think it says, it's got to be like, I am in danger. Almost as an F. 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 F for eriktenhag. F for Funke. Is this the consensus for the house? Are we gonna land on an F for eriktenhag? Come on, he got the tactics, the game preparation right though. The red card, you can't fault that on the manager. Come on, Omo. I know you're pissed off. I know you're angry about that. But yeah, bringing in Mason Mount for Haaland, for me, eriktenhag. Someone early on said, trust the process. My thought was, what's the process? That one I have to question. That marks you down. So for me, Manchester, I'm gonna give eriktenhag a D. Mine's just too nice. Bad in-game management. You know what? Omo, I see you says we're going to need to revise these tomorrow. Stephanie says C, he could do better. For me, I give him a D. Okay, so it's going to be a D+. Since that, why is eriktenhag getting a C, guys? Wow. Wow. To C? Luen says, why does he always take Haaland off, though? He's been asked about this. He's been asked about this, and he says he's got to manage his workload. So that's why. That's in his defense. Like, we know Haaland has a back injury, so he's got to manage that and make sure that we don't abuse him. But for me, that was the putting in Mason Mount and then playing him as a false nine. That was the wrong move, Erik. I do not agree with that. Bad in-game tactics and substitutions. So for me, he does not deserve a C. That's why I'm so mad at him for that. That's why I'm marking him down so harshly. And you guys chose a C. Wow. Brush is in the house. Big up to Brush. Please give eriktenhag a grade, and just a one quick little sentence of why that grade. Because for me, it's a C, man. It's a C at best, C- at best. Please let me know what you're thinking. And also, if you're just joining in, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I see we got like 11 people just tuned in casually. Big up to you. I appreciate you so much. Stephanie settled with a C-. Stephanie rounded it off to a C-. Okay. What is Brush gonna say? Brush, I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on your grade. But get Brush involved later. Yes, no, Brush, you have to be there for the happy hour tomorrow. We have to have a proper conversation. Omo is gonna be there, Manj is gonna be there, Vibes is gonna be there, Stephanie's gonna be there in the chat or in the call. Maybe Stephanie, one day you need to call in. One day you need to be a part of the happy hour. It'll make me so happy. You don't have to turn your camera on, Luen went with a D for eriktenhag. Brush went with a C-. Sounds about right. Okay, me and Luen are bringing the average to a D. I feel like it's gonna be a D. Is there anybody else that's bringing it a little bit higher? eriktenhag. Let me see. Omo did not put in a grade for Ten Hag. Omo says I'll explain myself tomorrow. Okay, all right. All right. We'll settle with it. I feel like a D+ is marking, but we also gave Eriksen a D-. So Eriksen and Ten Hag, I feel like they are about the same grade range. Let's leave them at a D, D-, D+. Because at the end of the day, you can't fault the manager for a red card. And then, it's all about how he reacts with the red card. And the man gave us a goal. Tactically, he managed to conjure a goal after we were disadvantaged and went a man down. So of course, questions have to be asked about, bro, how do you still blow it? Well, at 70th minute, 70th minute with a goal. Can you please have some tactical flexibility? And sometimes when you need to just like park the bus and read the room. Eriktenhag did not even know there was a room. So anyway, we're going to end the show on that and say Eriktenhag, D+. Let's see, is there any substitute that deserves an honorable mention? I doubt it, because Bruno got the goal, Haaland got the goal. We had, Johnny Evans substituted by Varane. We don't really rate Varane because in this game, because he was not looking like Champions League Varane. The Rolls Royce was looking like a Fiat. The Rolls Royce was looking more like a, RAV4. Sofian Amrabat came in. He deserves an honorable mention. He was okay, didn't move mountains. He came in for Christian Eriksen, I think, at the beginning of the second half, right, on the 46th minute. And then who else? And it was Mason Mount. That was the only other substitution afterwards from Eriktenhag. Isn't it ironic that the guy who scored the final goal, his name is Rooney? Come on, now.
My God!
Somebody gotta make that make sense to me. That was so crazy. The football gods were talking to us, somehow infiltrating, the pitch. And Harry Maguire hit the post. Let's not forget that. At the end of the day, I just want to highlight that this game, we lost, to a team that is very good. Let's not pretend that Copenhagen did not give a hard time to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich got a goal at the very, very, very end of the game to, claim 3 points versus Copenhagen. So this is a very tough team, guys. This is not relegation team in the Premier League. This is a very, very, very good Danish champions, So at the end of the day, we were playing that team, and with one man down, we showed some mentality and some resolve. That for me was a signal that the players have not given up on Eriktenhag. The players still want to fight for the manager. So I want to just highlight that and just bring that up, lift that up to us Man United fans and say the players have not down tools yet. They are still believing in the manager. They're showing signs of that. You know what? Technically, this guy still can get us through. So I know the style of play is still ambiguous, obscure right now. It's still incoherent. I don't even know what it is. Even the goals that we scored, they weren't really patterns, They weren't really. The first one, as I said, it's Copenhagen falling for the press of like, let's press Bruno and let's press Dalot, and Dalot managed to progress the ball to Bruno, and then boom, boom, the rest was history. And then the second one that we scored was the counter attack, the third one that we scored, what was the third one? It was a penalty, right? And it was because of having Harry Maguire in the box. So there's no real all right, these goals we got them because of like a repetitive action or a repetitive tactic in our phases, in our attacking style of play per se. So right now it is not really apparent what our style of play is. So, and I wanna highlight this, guys. I wanna highlight this at the end of the stream. You guys heard what the coach for Copenhagen said? I don't care if we get a copyright strike for this one. We gotta hear the audio. I gotta share with you the audio as I close the stream. Look at this, guys. This is what the Copenhagen coach said about the game at the end.
And for me as a Copenhagen coach, it was by far the weakest performance.
For me as a Copenhagen coach, it was by far the weakest performance from Copenhagen.
Oh Oh my God!
That is a bloody joke. Is this guy, for me, tell me if right now that is not me sounding like shots fired. That's sounding like I don't rate Man United nor eriktenhag at all. For me, that sounds like
Shots fired! Shots
what?
fired!
Worst performance. Anyway.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
We couldn't get the 3 points, and that's he can say what he wants, and we also can say what we want. And as a Man United fan, I want to call out the VAR bias that is so apparent. We've conceded a penalty in every Champions League game this season. We've had 2 players sent off in that time. Somebody tell me what planet this is, because Man United is definitely feeling like it's in a very cursed planet. Anyway, Brash will pull up tomorrow. I hope you pull up tomorrow. I hope you, most importantly, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Only 3 subs, surprising with 10 men. Stephanie, you know what the thing about the subs too is? What really troubles me, Stephanie, is why does Man United, in our bench, we had Bayern and Tom Heaton, 2 goalkeepers. That, can you tell me a world in which we're going to put in 2 goalkeepers in a game? Why are 2 goalkeepers registered? And we don't even have Donny van der Beek as an option. Come on, Steph.
Make it make sense, blood.
Why? Tom Heaton, if say Onana gets injured, we're going to call in Bayern or Tom Heaton. Make a choice. And then put in somebody. Put in somebody from the academy. One of the academy kids, man. That does not really jive well with me, eriktenhag. I understand some things, these technical things, these stuff behind the scenes. As fans, we can speculate. We're talking about, but 2 goalkeepers when you have already another goalkeeper on the pitch, that does not get in an academy kid. Are they really that bad? Is our academy really that rotten? That's what he's telling me. Is Donny van der Beek really that horrible? Because the last time I saw Donny van der Beek put on that Man United shirt, he scored a worldie of a goal in a preseason game. A few weeks ago. Steph, that was really surprising. Luan says, Papi, why are Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka getting a C? So, Stephanie, we conceded 4 goals. I mean, Luan, we conceded 4 goals. And I was still on that point with I think we've spent enough time on that one, Stephanie. Thank you. But Luan, we cannot give guys B minuses right now when we conceded 4 goals. Let's be honest. Otherwise, what kind of grading system would allow a B? 4? I understand 2, but 4? Nah. We have to be real and say, nah. 4 goals, you cannot be getting anything higher than a C. That's why, Luan. That's really the logic behind that, Adam in the building. Adam is an Arsenal fan. First time commenting, I think, right? Adam Breezy, big up to you. Welcome, homie. You sold your best player, dude. David De Gea. Yo, Adam. please, let's not get started on David De Gea. But the thing is, we just don't know how to maximize Andre Onana. I believe we needed to make the update, and get on par with all the other top teams that have ball-playing goalkeepers. So really getting a player like Andre Onana was not necessarily a step backwards. It was actually a step forward. I was under the impression, as many other Man United fans, that Onana, De Gea would still want to stay even if we got in another goalkeeper. That's the pretext that we are operating under when we listen to our manager's press conferences, Adam. And guess what?
That is a bloody joke.
That's what Man United said. So unfortunately, that was the case. And we shouldn't have got rid of David De Gea. I'm sure he would have loved to come in and play, like even FA Cup, Carabao Cup. David would have. Look at how he's commenting on everybody's Instagram post, Man United player posts. David De Gea, man, you should have been treated better by Man United. My apologies to you. And Brush says Dave is still a free agent. Dave is still around. Francisco, shout out to you, says you may have lost, but you can just use that loss as more motivation to get better. Yo, Francisco, what you said just reminded me of a comment that I would like to just close the stream with. So there is this phrase that says, I believe it might be by Gloria Clemente. It says, sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes when you win or lose, you actually draw. And sometimes when you draw, you actually win or lose. So winning or losing is all one organic mechanism from which one extracts what one needs. So I believe in this game, even though on paper we lost 4-3 to Copenhagen, Manchester United still mentality-wise won because the team fought. The team showed some belief in Eriktenhag, and that for me is the motivational message and the positive thing that I'll extract from this performance. And that's how we're going to end the review, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to hit the like button. Eriktenhag, you got to do better. When we play Galatasaray, that is a must win. I don't know how, whether without Marcus Rashford for possibly 1 or 2 games. I think they're going to make a ruling before the Galatasaray game if he's going to be banned for 2 games or not. But we have to find solutions. We have enough firepower to find solutions. Eriktenhag, you have to find a way to what?
Make it make sense, blood.
Make it make sense. Ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. Great show, Poppy, says Stephanie. Thank you. Brush says United have a lot of motivation based on defeats this season. We're too motivated. If you can take this defeat as motivation, I don't know what kind of motivation you need, because Man United needs to do better, because what we've been seeing is horrible and our rival fans are laughing. Come on, Man United, bring more grit, bring more fight next game. Let's go.
People
Come and take people out.
Yes.
Common violence. That should.
Bruno Fernandes! It's fair! It's Martial! Just waiting on the back post, surely he'll be found! And scores first! Premier League goal at Old Trafford!
Do you know there are many of United players that left the club last season? See where they play. Where they play, how they play, if they play.